Welcome to Metal as Medicine. I'm your host, Eric. I'm sitting here with Svneatr. And before we get to talking to the band here, I'm just going to mention a few sponsors. We have the Okanagan Tattoo Show and Brewfest taking place here in Kelowna at the Curling Club on July 19th to 21st. And we have Wentworth Music, sales, lessons, repairs, and rentals here in Kelowna at 104 1634 Harvey Avenue. All right, the guests today are Svneatr from Vancouver, BC. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. I'm James, a.k.a. Hengest. I'm the guitarist, or one of the guitarists in the band.
So I'm Brendan, otherwise known as Vithar. I play the other guitar, and I also do the vocals, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm Matt, also known as Aldrich, and I play the drums.
I'm Sean, also known as Scariot. I play bass and meme shit posting.
Pretty much.
Nice, awesome.
And I'm Matt from Apollyon.
Oh, hey,
He's
Matt
just
from
sitting
Apollyon.
here.
You came out of nowhere.
Hello. Here we go again.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Matt-
Make up for our missed podcasts the other week with
Yeah, a couple of
They
weeks.
showed up like 10 minutes before they had to play.
Yeah,
Still love you guys.
absolutely. And we will have them on the show eventually. And Matt might just join us that day as well,
Always down.
just like he did on our second episode, which was titled Apollyon.
No way.
Way!
Good to be here with the boys, Svneatr. Good friends, good band.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, guys. How's it going?
It's good. It was a good drive up. It was nice and easy. We sped through, no problem, and yeah, now we're here and we're ready to roll.
Right on, sped right up here, breaking the laws all the way through.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell the internet.
Fuck ton of cops coming up this way. Holy shit.
Coming up this way? Yeah. Oh, yeah? Oh, well, yeah, it's warm weather out there. It's nice. Yeah, of course they're going to be good. Out there.
What am I supposed to do now?
So you guys are hot off some shows on the island, right?
That was correct, yep.
How did those go?
Oh, they were fucking killer. The bands were so awesome and the crowds were great. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for more.
Right on. You guys playing old songs, new songs?
It'll be a mix of both, but mostly newer ones.
Okay, how's the reaction been so far from the crowd?
So far, it's been really, really good. Yeah, it's kind of blown me away. The songs are a little bit different than the first kind of album, the first group of songs. So the reception's been quite surprising and very positive. So
Okay, well, because I've listened to the first album, and I've noticed that
Go buy it.
absolutely
Yeah,
go to their Bandcamp and buy that album. Smash that buy button.
smash it.
So most of that album was made up of songs that were from the demo.
Yeah,
That
about
was
half
even
of them,
years before that one.
Yeah.
So then that would explain then why on the new album it sounded a little bit different influences, times progress.
For sure. And when we were writing those first songs, I mean, the first three demo songs, there weren't any of these guys in the band at the time. For the rest of the songs, we kind of added kind of unique layers from each of the band members, but most of the songs were already written before these guys even joined the band.
Oh.
For the new songs, it was much more of a collaborative effort, so it was a lot more input from these guys and a lot more songwriting on their part.
Okay, interesting, because I asked earlier if you guys were a three-piece, because
Yeah.
I had seen on linear notes from the other albums that there was three members, and I read that you had written all the lyrics and the music.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly, I wrote it all before these guys kind of joined, and then we added the second guitarist because he joined Sean's other band, Opus Arise, and he came highly recommended. So we tried him out, and two guitars is better than one. So
Joke's on
Absolutely.
these guys.
joke's on you.
Joke's on you, I'm not even plugged in. So then what's it like coming into a band that's already been a little bit established with some material out there?
It's exactly what I did with Opus as well. And it's like, it can be a little bit daunting. Obviously, you have to learn all the material, which is what it is. But it's a really fun band to play in. I've had loads of fun with all the guys in Svneatr. I feel like we've become this little like band of black metal brothers kind of thing. It's been fun. going on some road trips and things like that. We played out in Alberta, played up in Edmonton, and yeah, it's been a really sick time. We've had a lot of fun. So yeah, it's nothing but good times.
Band of music dorks, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do you mean by that? Go into some detail.
Oh, we're always trading off different like bands we check out, just Bandcamp discoveries, or just like, hey, if you listen to this like old record, like, kind of thing. So no, it's just we're always listening to something new in the car, or just sending stuff into the group chat, just throughout the week. It's great, It keeps the juices flowing, keeps the inspiration going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, and I'm all about finding new bands, as Brandon knows that I'm always sharing new shit and finding new shit out there and trying to spread metal as far and wide as I possibly can.
Yeah, there's just like a never-ending stream of bands to check out. Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm just like I'm always plugged.
They said metal was the fastest growing genre of 2019 or 2018, I think.
I believe that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
believe
It's
that.
it is ever growing. I mean, like, I grew up in the Okanagan, and just seeing like Munins post and all these like sick shows coming on here, and just blowing my mind. And I just have to give it up to like bands like Apollyon, Arc and Fire, Death Machine, and just like
The shameless plug.
Yeah, it's
it's pretty
growing.
damn
I'm
rad.
really, really happy to see it. Just somebody who grew up here, and it's amazing. So
Yeah, it's come a long way over the years. That is for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and it's
When Apollyon started, like, there was basically no metal scene, like we were playing hardcore shows in like church basements and shit, so like seeing it come from basically nothing to what it is now has been amazing.
yeah. And it's been a short time too. Like, it's not like you guys started in the 90s.
Yeah, no, we started in 2014, and since then it's just grown exponentially. New bands popping up all the time, crazy talent. Fucking couldn't be more stoked about it.
So everyone leaving Vancouver because of the house prices.
They're not much better here.
No, it's not much better. Hey, believe me, I can buy a nice car, but I can't even fucking buy a house.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's brutal. So then, okay, speaking of finding this ever-flowing river of new bands, what is inspiring you now with the new material? Especially now that there's 4 people involved.
Oh,
3 of them
wow.
being brand new.
I mean, I've been listening to a ton of music, but particularly Chapel of Disease. That was such a good album. No. Yeah. And then just bands from around here. I mean, gonna shamelessly plug Apollyon again, but even like bands from Calgary and Edmonton. You got Arctos who are playing tonight. Numenorean's playing tonight too. It's crazy, even just in like kind of the Western Canada area, of how many good bands there are, and like a variety of like subgenres. It's endless, man. It's endless.
Yeah, and it's exciting because, like, you guys mentioning new bands popping up or bands that you haven't known yet, and I'm going through lists of bands, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this song sounds rad. I'm going to check them out. And, like, no, they don't just have a demo or one album. They've got, like, 3 albums out.
And you're like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, and, like, out of nowhere. And I guess it would have to be, like, I'm thinking of now, as you mentioned, in 2014, you guys started, and you've seen the scene come up then. My guess would be that technology has a lot to do with it, because metal has never really been mainstream, and when it has, mainstream people that listen to those songs by like Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, whatever, Slipknot, they don't dig deeper because they're not as passionate about the scene. They just see it on TV or hear it on the radio. And now that we've got technology literally in our hands everywhere we go.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
The thing about metalheads too is like you don't like there's a you meet some people and they're like, oh yeah, I like a few songs by Metallica, I like a few songs by Slayer or whatever, but for the most part, most metalheads you meet are like it's their fucking lifeblood. Like, they are die hard for it. And yeah, like most people I know, like everyone always is listening to something different. There's so many bands popping up, and with Bandcamp and Spotify, there's so many platforms for international exposure and shit. And
sure.
it's super crazy just like how easy it is to get your music out there.
Well, that's like me. Every Friday, I'm on Bandcamp. I'm like, what's new? What's
Yeah,
good?
yeah.
And like at least 1 or 2 albums I'll check out, and like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
well,
crazy.
I maxed out my Spotify library just because there's always
Yeah.
new shit dropping. Like, and it's so easy to get on Spotify too. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, I find myself like getting emails Thursday or Friday, like, oh, all these new releases, and
yeah.
I'm like, check out. I'm like, I fucking love them all. What am I gonna do?
Shout out Joey Hawken for his weekly posts about new music.
Those are great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys want to shout out to whoever, absolutely, just have at it, plug it away. Because the more we get the names out there, the more people find this shit.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
For
I'll,
like the dozen people that are listening to this podcast right now.
Yeah, right on. Well, shout out to the two bands who played with us on the island, Death Machine and La Bersha.
Yeah, and Gnosis, who joined us in Victoria
And Gnosis,
as well.
yeah. They were all,
Wearing this shirt right now.
yeah. They were all killer bands, and it's just, yeah, tight sets and good bands for sure.
And then like, where do you start? Like introducing someone to metal, where would you start?
Well, I came from a pretty heavy like classical background. Like I'm actually a violin player. That was the first instrument I ever learned. And then I think kind of ever since I got into, more kind of punk rock kind of music, that kind of developed into metal. And, ever since I kind of, got past the whole screaming kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I've been like a huge fan of metal, and I've been, playing my drums almost every day since the end of high school, like learning new stuff, getting into new music. And it was just kind of like a natural transition for me, like classical going into metal music.
So how do you feel now about metal and playing metal compared to back then when you were learning and playing classical? Like, do you find it more entertaining? Do you find it a challenge, and that's why you enjoy doing it?
I mean, I say it's, more of a challenge and less of a challenge, kind of in different ways. Because, classical, you have, like, right, all the notes in front of you, right? It's very, like, visual, right? You have to look at the notes and, play exactly what that is. But I think in metal, you have a lot of freedom, too, like, especially me as the drummer, right? So, when I hear really good drummers play, I kind of have, that fill sounded really cool. I think I could put that somewhere and make that sound awesome and kind of develop it and, make it my own or something like that, right? Just kind of absorbing everything around me. Yeah.
Well, that's like the cool thing. That's the cool thing about metal too is like, I maintain that it is the most diverse genre out there, and so, when I'm writing for Apollyon and stuff, like I literally take influence from everything, every like piece of media I consume, every piece of art I look at, like, the movies I watch, the music I listen to, everything. I can take inspiration from all of it and apply it to my death metal somehow. Like it's, so like you can bring so much to a genre and do so much with it while it still fits into the confines of that genre.
Yeah.
So
And they all bleed together.
Well, exactly. I mean, and you're a classical player, and I mean, like classical was like the heavy metal of fucking.
Of the medieval times.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, well, yeah, I mean,
The
the
OG metalhead.
There's so many bands out there that are like they're classically based and shit. Like, I mean, like
Trace back to the 80s with Malmsteen.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Yngwie.
And then
Dean from Archspire, he actually like transposed a piece of classical music as a guitar solo on their newest album, and it's
that
extreme
Mozart
tech
piece,
death album. Yeah.
And you're getting back into like introducing people to metal. Like when I was showing like my dad, for instance, like some albums, like I show him like Scenes from a Memory by Dream Theater. Not the heaviest record, but kind of transitioning.
Some kind of gateway drug.
Yeah, because he like was listening like, I hear like a lot of Pink Floyd, I hear a lot of Zappa, I hear a lot of Yes, kind of like it's just an evolution, of, like, music too.
And then once you get into that, step into where the music's a bit faster, then you can say, okay, now let's introduce a band that has growling vocals.
Yeah,
or something.
I introduced him Opeth.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, yeah.
Closest band I listened to that had harsh vocals was Lamb of God.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, then somebody showed me Opeth, and I was like, "What?" They showed me Ghost of Perdition, which is like such a fuck you song to listen to for the first time. It's just you're not expecting it.
It's an excellent
But
song.
like,
It is. Oh yeah, it's a great song.
Amazing. Amazing.
I can't believe the album's almost 15 years old.
Yeah, and I had
Yeah,
never
right.
heard
Don't make me
anything
feel
like that
old,
at the
please.
time, like, so it's just you find that one band that clicks, and then you're all about extreme metal. I find like
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like a flooding gateway. Just all of a sudden, bam, all these bands just
Yeah.
start pouring
Yeah.
out.
Opeth and Job for a Cowboy for me, because I hated death metal before that, was not into it, and then I heard those, and I just had never heard anything like that. And
Yeah.
Since then, just all extreme metal.
And kind of what we're doing as well. Like I just like bringing it back to the new material that we've been coming up with, like Svneatr, is like Matt's a classical musician. So actually is Sean. He hasn't said yet, but he plays like fucking every instrument. Sean,
Not
give them the
every
list.
instrument.
Give them the list. Give it. Go. What's the list?
What do you play?
I play viola and double bass in a few orchestras around town, and I
Yeah.
play guitar in Opus Arise. I play a
He's
bass.
being very humble.
He's
about
being
this
very
right now.
modest. Very, very modest. He plays lots of things.
I'm a few
Very-
people say I'm a meme, and I'm just like,
He's like, by the way, that's the name of one of my bands.
yeah. By the way, everybody's gateway bands. I know Matt from Apollyon here just said his gateway band, so it's everyone's gateway bands.
Yeah,
into
I
metal here.
like this discussion. Let's hear some more Gateway bands.
First time I heard Dream Theater, that was kind of, and then getting into harsh change of seasons, images and words, and then right after, like I discovered Opeth, and I was like, oh, and then I got into like Mayhem and like Cannibal Corpse, got into the extreme metal right from there, and it was a pretty amazing feeling. Still remember that day.
Yeah.
To this day. So.
I feel like metalheads remember at least the first time they heard one of their albums that really defined metal or their love for that metal. Here. Yeah, right?
Because my dad like raised me on like Deep Purple, and for me like Dream Theater was kind of an evolution from like them and like Yes and stuff, which I listened to those records from my dad way back when. So. It was pretty cool.
It definitely helps when you have a parent that's into classic
definitely.
rock or
I
hard
definitely
rock.
thank my dad for getting me into like Pink Floyd and Zappa and stuff.
Dad.
Yeah, and
That
Deep
was
Purple.
that was the same for me. My dad was I guess he came of age in the 70s, and he has many stories of house parties when he was in high school, listening to like Dark Side of the Moon when that came out, which is really wild to think about. They're old, so old. I love you, Dad, really. But for me, I'm really lame, and I think actually the band that really got me into, especially with harsh vocals, because I already liked some proggy stuff, because I grew like when I was younger, I was really into jazz, and that's actually where my playing background comes from. So anyway, I got into the sort of prog metal stuff. I was really into Dream Theater and Symphony X. I know that's another band me and Sean both are really into. We both really like those guys. And I got into that stuff. But then what got me into the harsh vocals, I very specifically remember, was Pull Harder on the Strings of Your Martyr by Trivium, which is it's a pretty good song. I still like it. I don't have any regret for being a metalcore fan. Yeah. No, it's good. At the end of the day, that album, Ascendancy, is it's a banger, and I'll still crank it every now and then. But yeah, no, and then I think I got into some of the harsher stuff, like more the European, I guess, stuff. From like Opeth and things like that, and then I delved into my first like blackened band was definitely Enslaved. I'm a huge Enslaved fan. I love those guys. I made them listen to one of their albums in the car on the way up. So yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, no, they let me. They let me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Listen. Oh, you think you're driving? I'm gonna tape you up, and you're.
So for me, I mean, when I'm like 10, I was into like Green Day, Blink-182, that kind of thing. Woo! Get out of here. My
Hang out
fucking
in the mall.
microphone. Yeah, fuck. And then I got into guitar playing, and then, typical bands, Metallica, Slayer. But it's a funny story. I had a particular issue of Guitar World magazine when I was like first learning guitar at 13, 12, something like that. And on the front cover it was Zakk Wylde, Steve Vai, and Alexi Leo. And I gravitated, of course, towards Alexi Leo because he was the younger one of the three, and like
He's the best looking one of the three.
best looking one, exactly. I was like, damn, this guy's dope. And then I exactly, actually. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that anymore. But
It's true though. Every metalhead wants his hair.
actually, the long hair comes from Ken from Street Fighter 2. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was my shit. Jesus. But yeah, I remember. He just whipped it out. For Harambe. Yeah. But yeah, I remember specifically having a paper route and listening to Children of Bodom for the first time, doing my paper route in like this. It was either snowing or raining, I can't remember. But I was like, what the fuck? This sounds so satanic. And I was like 12 and like totally taken aback by
Edgy.
the. Yeah, exactly. Totally taken aback by the vocal style, and then now I have a pentagram ring. But yeah, from there it was I fell in love with the Tampa death metal scene. So it was Death, Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, that whole scene.
Chris Barnes.
Genocide, basically everything.
I had a feeling somebody was going to say that. Which is exactly why I mentioned him.
This just in. Anyway, so that was kind of my excursion into that, and then I got into black metal later. But as far as like guitar playing goes, that was easier for me. Like it was more natural to play a black metal style versus a like death metal style.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went in through there, actually through probably Wolves in the Throne Room and Behemoth actually.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
I would say Nuggle is like definitely one of the coolest guys in black metal. Yeah, every single time I
He's
read an
freestyling.
interview with that dude, he's fucking excellent.
Yeah, when he's not stirring the fucking pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's great.
Just don't follow him on Instagram.
There was one interview a few months ago, like, and the interviewer was like, do you hate hipsters? Do you hate hipsters and like the metal scene? He's like, I love hipsters. They brew the best beer. They own the best record shops, you know?
They all come from Portland.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Poland.
yeah.
Sorry.
And for me, I pretty much grew up on Led Zeppelin. Like that's the main band. I remember my dad like blasting and the Led Zeppelin DVDs. Like we had all of them. I remember pretty much watching every single track and like Jimmy Page shredding the guitar and John Bonham and like I was probably like 8 or something. The first time I saw that, and I definitely thought that was pretty cool. But I think the first band I kind of listened to a lot of and kind of like studied was like Rise Against and some of their older stuff. Like that was kind of like the first, like I pretty much taught myself guitar and I taught myself drums, and that was pretty much the first band, and I just learned it all by ear. So I did a few guitar covers, just like the power chords, and I learned a couple solos, and then funny story, my dad's friend actually had this electronic drum kit in a storage locker somewhere, and I was thinking like, man, I want to just spend like $400 and get like a drum kit. My parents are like, oh Lord, like not gonna have like an acoustic drum set in the house.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Yeah. So my dad's friend was like, oh yeah, why don't you come pick it up someday? So I remember loading it into the car and setting it up in my living room, and it's basically rubber tires, right? Like hooked up to the brain, and you put the headphones in, and so yeah, and then I pretty much learned a bunch of music like that, and yeah, selfie here, nice. And then Avenged Sevenfold is another band I got in, I think, purely because of the drumming. Like I really kind of felt the connection with the drumming, and learned a bunch of the stuff by ear, and I think that's just I kept practicing, and that kind of developed into more like metal. Like I remember getting kind of into like Between the Buried and Me and stuff like that, and yeah, and then I went to university to study violin, and I got kind of more into the metal. Like I did listen to a lot of Between the Buried and Me through university, so that was yeah, just like really connected with the composition and like the drumming and everything, and just looking at the tabs, like I had this program called Guitar Pro, and I would download the tabs and look at it and just like all the time signatures, and I'd be like, oh man, like this is ridiculous, like just mind blown right away, right? And then, since then, I got, more into, like I got into Opeth and Death and, and then, of course, since I joined Svneatr, more black metal. Like I wasn't really that much into black metal before I joined, but I think it was like a really natural connection between us. Like when Sean and I joined Brendan and started jamming, it was kind of came together pretty naturally. And
that was awesome.
all my drumming influences, kind of putting that in, like, especially our first track, the Howl, right? There's lots of kind of like beats from like. That I kind of absorbed from, early Rise Against music, and even like, the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold, like the kind of faster double kick stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like they're, those are, I would say, like the main drummers who first, got me into drumming at the first place, Brandon Barnes and, the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, and then it, just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, to meet all these, 3 different guys and just their influences and stuff like that. The variety, I think, really makes this band something special, something unique.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a question that just
For
came
sure.
up when you were speaking about the drums and the Howl. When you play older songs, do you guys change it at all live, or do you play like what is done on the album?
Only really except for like my parts. Oh, actually, well, just with the guitars, like Brendan had some ideas for guitar parts that he wanted to play but couldn't because there was only one guitarist.
Yeah.
So in the end, like kind of with me coming along, he was able to kind of expand on those ideas, and that's pretty much what happened there. Besides that, I think Matt plays everything exactly as it sounds on the album because that's Matt's very, very good at that. Oh, okay, fair enough. I feel like the same thing with Sean. Sean's also like very, very technically competent. So yeah, it tends to sound exactly like it does on the album, except for maybe some fills and stuff. So
I do actually, I've actually changed up my bass lines quite a bit, especially in that song.
Like some Geddy Lee shit, just
Oh, yeah,
going
I
off
think
on your own
kinda
thing.
Taps and
he plays a fretless.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
sure does.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I
Those
do- I
always
guess I
sound
do.
very sweet.
But
I
I just
Little
like
bit of
I,
Steve DiGiorgio.
whenever time I like go back and listen to the album, or every time we jam some of the songs, I'm kind of like I should have done this here and here, like add a different melodic line or add a different fill here, or kind of played it the notes of it on my lower, because I use a 5-string because they use a 6-string guitar, so I like to use the low string to really add some more oomph or But I'm always kind of thinking, like, now that we're approaching to record the new album in the next couple of months after we finish off these last couple songs, I'm just thinking, like, I gotta like really solidify these. Like, basically, I keep going through ideas because I did study some jazz bass, and I played in a big band jazz group for a little while too.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
you do have a lot of history behind you then.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's what I keep saying.
I'm trying to draw it out. Like, give me more.
Give me more.
Just keep grilling him. He's in like 3 other bands and
Whatever.
You know what band you're in right now, right?
Yeah.
Here.
What is Milan gonna say about this?
He doesn't know.
He's still in the band too.
Doesn't matter.
We'll just have 2
This is the
bass players.
press releases
You're there-
right
Are we
now.
gonna cover
Yeah.
Big Bottom?
Yes.
Okay. Just hope your brother doesn't die.
We're gonna turn it up to 11.
So like, I just hope your drummer doesn't explode.
You know, it happens. Like you
There's
gotta
more-
watch out for it.
There's more drummers out there.
Drummers expire. It's a thing. Spinal Tap taught us this.
We have a running joke every time Nick pisses us off. We're like, Nick, $80 and we'll get a drum machine. And
Yeah, right. Like I've got one on my phone ready to go.
I've seen one band do that, and I'm just like, it's not the same.
When they like Skype call in a drummer or something.
That's what Archfire has to do right now.
Really?
Yeah,
like-
there's like a family emergency with Spencer, and so Archfire has to finish up their tour with the drum machine.
That sounds
Oh,
like fun.
damn.
Damn.
Like, who the fuck else is gonna play Archfire stuff?
Yeah, fuck.
Well, they could get AI to do it, couldn't they? I mean, they trained AI to play death metal in the
talk to that guy again. He messaged me a while back. He wants to run our album through that.
Which show?
The like fucking AI thing where it's like looping.
An
like-
endless.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
looping. It's literally an endless
Yeah,
stream,
yeah, yeah,
24 hours a day.
Yeah, no, that shit's wild. It's like,
Fucking CJ, man.
yeah.
Yeah, and they model. Yeah, exactly. They model it off. Of them.
Everyone should steal shit from it.
Yeah, actually though, it's not copyrighted.
This hour is now mine. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how's the writing for the new album coming along?
It's pretty good. Like I said, I think we're playing 3 of the new ones today.
3 of the new ones tonight.
Yeah.
We were going to play
Nice.
4, but we just because of the shorter set time and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first album has each track has quite a length to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Are the
Yeah, 3 of
Yeah.
the new songs will be around the 9-minute mark.
I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna ask if they're
Yeah.
shorter or longer even, or
No,
if each
no.
track is an album in its own.
It's going to break 10.
one of them might break 10, and that's my fault, and I apologize for
It's
anyone
everyone's fault.
that doesn't like
We're too
long
damn
songs.
creative,
Yeah,
James.
Couldn't stop going.
But at the end of the day, fuck it. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
10 minutes
exactly.
is short for a black metal song nowadays. So
Yeah. No, Bren's got a point.
yeah, it's average.
I think nowadays, I think it's always been. A
Yeah,
fact.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, as far as songwriting goes, we kind of took a break to do these shows just to practice up and stuff like that. But I think that we're going to have probably 6 songs on the next album. 4 of them are completely done, basically. Maybe some slight changes here or there, but other than that, those ones are pretty much put away. Then there's 2 more, like James was saying, probably going to clear 10 minutes. As soon as he's done with his perfectionism and like...
Yeah, I'm a pretty horrible perfectionist when it comes to some of the writing, but yeah, one of the tracks we've been working on is pretty much good, and that's I think gonna end up being the longest one on the album. And then the other one, how long is Son of Morning?
Morning
The
Sun.
Morning Sun.
That
Spoiler!
one,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not too sure how long it's going to end up being. That one's more like a shell at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's the least done, yeah. And but other than that, I mean, as soon as James is done with his
Bullshit.
Pethian vibes and
So how long have you been working on these songs for?
Well, that one track, like for the most part, like well, even that one, like most of them have been very collaborative. But with this other one, like for some reason, it ended up like moderately being like my little black metal baby, and I just kind of like ran with it and have done at least the most of the arranging in terms of like what riffs are going where. Because me and Brendan tend to like bounce ideas off of each other quite a lot for the riffs. And then Sean actually comes up with a surprising amount of the guitar riffs. He probably doesn't want to say this.
That's surprising.
he'll come in with his guitar every once in a while, and we'll bounce ideas off, and then we'll kind of put it together, and that's kind of been how the album has taken form at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we can expect it to sound a little bit different than.
It's
than the first one.
it's quite a bit different.
Awesome.
A little bit more experimental, a little bit more progressive in a way. But
Cool. Is it going to sound like Dark Throne, like the previous album?
No.
But we still have a bag of riffs on top
yeah.
of that. You know,
Yeah.
we were thinking about doing an EP like right after this album too. So
Yeah,
there's
Why
no,
not?
there's
Yeah,
no
exactly.
spoilers there. But like
That's
we still
fine.
got like lots of other stuff that to work from because there was a lot of sessions that we've just like hit the record button on a cell phone and just like let's record these riffs. These sound fucking sick and
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, for
you know,
sure, dude.
just
Yeah.
like hanging out on a Friday night, have a couple beers, and just swing at it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of it. And
It's
you hold on to that
really
creative
surprising.
material because nowadays you can fucking release shit whenever you want. So
Yeah.
pop it up on Bandcamp and everybody gets a notification on their phone.
Yeah.
Then they just swipe it away, right?
Fuckers.
Swipe away.
You click that shit.
Swipe right. Swipe right.
Swipe right. Swipe.
Yeah.
Swipe right on
I'm gonna get
Svneatr.
a subscription so I can get unlimited likes.
Just buy them.
Yeah.
It's like peak loneliness. It's like paying for Tinder.
Yeah.
Look at all these matches, guys.
So many matches. I'm so popular.
All those matches that you're never gonna talk to.
Yeah.
I ate like 10 times tonight.
Who has the energy or time for that?
Yeah, I
This
don't.
must be off the charts.
Drummers.
Drummers and bass players, man.
Yeah, guitar players ain't shit. 10 minutes, we're good.
They're like,
That's why I'm a vocalist, man. I don't gotta like worry about anything serious. I just get up on stage, run around, and make animal noises. Like,
yeah, and then you
if I
just
fuck up, no one knows what I'm saying anyway.
they're kind of like mating sounds, right?
I feel that.
I mean, that's the plan. But girls don't care if you're in a metal band anymore.
Yeah.
They really don't give a fuck anymore. It's not like the '80s where it's like, oh, you're Motley Crue. Me and 8 of my friends are gonna have sex with you tonight. Not like that anymore. No one gives a fuck if you play music anymore. 'Cause everyone does it.
That is kind of true, actually. A lot of people do nowadays. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
easy.
totally. Oh yeah. So, do you plan on going to the same studio as before?
Yeah, actually, we're hoping to finish them up, and we were hoping maybe September, October, that kind of range for going back to the studio. Ryan did a great job on the last one, so we're planning to, hit him up again to do this one.
And I don't want to get the studio name wrong,
Oh,
but
I
I
don't
do
want
want
to
to give it
either.
a plug.
The guy's name is Ryan Shepard at Shepard Sound, but he has a new studio now, doesn't he?
Little Red Sounds he's working at now, and
Oh, okay.
that room is just sounding fucking phenomenal. We're tracking the new Opus Arise record, and gonna be actually doing a remaster for video game tribute album with it. Doing
Nice.
some like
Legend theme song, Final Fantasy
no,
7,
actually,
Mario
well,
Brothers.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, we're doing Dancing Mad from Final Fantasy 6.
Nice.
Yeah, which plug in for that show, June 22nd, Anvil Center, New Westminster, for the Retro Gaming Expo.
So if you're in Vancouver, you better fucking be there.
Yeah, it's right by the SkyTrain. No excuse.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Zero excuse.
Yeah. But that room just sounds so fucking good. We were tracking the strings, the guitars there. Oh man,
Yeah, and
it
like
just-
the kick drum sound that Ryan can get with this crazy like sub kick mic it's insane, right? I mean,
that guy is always like getting new stuff for his rig and always experimenting and stuff.
and even
Yeah.
the snare sound too. Like he did a killer job with the drums. I think just tuning up all the sound. So yeah, happy to go back, have him mix and master it again.
Rad, man. Awesome.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa. What? What?
It's a running joke.
Oh, okay.
Your life is better off if they don't explain it.
Yeah, don't explain it. Just leave it as
play
it
Crash
is.
Bandicoot. Crash.
Do I? Well, like back in the day when
You know when he
PSX,
dies,
yes.
he goes like,
Well,
"Whoa."
I am old.
Everyone needs to look at the tour posters for our island shows. That's all.
Oh, they were. Yes, I saw those. Yes.
Whoa!
yes.
That's it. That's
Tell them the name of Sean, tell them the name of the Facebook group for the island tour.
the Wool Cult Eternal Island Pilgrimage. Island Pilgrimage.
So it had a whole theme to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a stupid, harmless meme, and I just think it's funny. It always.
Yeah,
Always-
I think Death Machine agreed too,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean, we
it-
kind of
Oh yeah,
collaborated on
totally.
it.
The
Oh,
whole
yeah.
world is a giant fucking meme at this point. But you know what? You can't say harmless because there's one fucking person on the internet
That one person.
and twist it around, and then you will now be racist bigots for the rest of your life.
I really
Jesus
truly
Christ.
hope we did not offend anyone by that. We didn't mean anything, ill by that.
If you were offended by that, you probably deserve to be offended by that. 'Cause, like, come on.
The new EP will be called Crash Bandicoot is a Nazi.
You should, yeah. Why not?
That's why you check Metal Archives before you listen to a new black metal band.
Yeah, exactly, right, man?
Oh man, this band's sick. Ah, they're Nazis.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I googled them.
Yeah, Killjoy.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna check out this sweet ass band called Burzum. Oh fuck, he's a Nazi.
No,
Yeah,
I
what
had
is
that
that
happen
symbol?
when I listened to Pest Noir. I was like, yo, this is really cool. It's really interesting. And then I saw like their newest album cover. I was like, oh, he's in blackface on that. That's not cool. Yikes.
Oh yeah, big time yikes there. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Super racist.
Actually, mentioning of that, and now racism being the topic of our discussion and Nazis. I was on Metal Archives and I found out there was a fucking Canadian band that released a Nazi album.
Which
In
Wow.
in the last month. Oh yeah, there he is.
Like the
Yeah.
SWAT team break down their door or something. That's what I would think, right?
Oh.
As soon as they post it, right?
Yeah, right? You'd think that the fucking CISA would be on their asses like, oh, fuck, I knew these guys were Nazis. Now we can get in there. Now they're on Metal Archives.
Figure there'd be some algorithm that would like detect
Yeah.
it right away, right?
Yeah.
Just like
they, don't
send
even,
them right to prison.
they don't even need to
No
watch.
trial.
They could be at home playing Crash Bandicoot and be like,
Yeah, yeah.
holy fuck, these guys are Nazis. I just got a notification on my phone.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yo, shout out to my dudes in Svneatr. Buy their shit. They're fucking sick.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Take it easy.
And honestly, whatever you're into, like keep it on the stage, right? That's kind of what we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
by, right? Like, you know, we're just kind of ourselves. You know, we've developed our own kind of personas on stage, and you know, gotta kind of give it all. And you know, just be yourself off stage, right? No need to, you know, be over the top.
And really just fuck Nazis. Like, it shouldn't be
Yeah, I
a
agree.
thing, even.
No, it's dumb as bricks. It's dumb as bricks. Though we probably will end up offending people because we're environmentalists.
So eventually you all will be driving Teslas then.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the dream, right?
Living the
Tesla
dream.
The dream that Elon Musk has bestowed upon us.
So hold on a second. You guys are
Sorry.
a black metal band, but you're not Nazis?
I know, mind blown.
Yeah, totally.
Bunch of music dorks.
Oh yeah,
right.
Just
yeah,
like blast
exactly.
beats and like screaming vocals and cool guitar riffs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what got me into it personally.
Bust out those fucking riffs that kill fascists.
Yeah.
Yep, and live by the meme. Live and die by the meme.
You'll be saying it by the end of the night there, Eric.
Whoa,
And no, you're gonna hit that note by the end of the night. I tell you.
whoa.
That whoa, whoa. There you go.
So is that going to be a lyric in like the chorus of one of your new songs? The bonus
I don't know if we
track.
have the balls to do that.
I
I
know.
don't know. We'll see.
It's just kind of an inside joke.
I just might make a joke black metal album and just like have the Crash meme whoa go be the vocalist.
But by
be the-
himself.
Yeah, just
Solo project.
yeah. Oh, totally by myself. I'm not
Yeah.
expecting you guys to fucking do that shit. That's
Well,
just my
I'll do
insanity.
guest
Much like your
vocals.
project within a project with a 10-minute plus song,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
could have a project within the project
Are we
within
getting
the
into
project.
some
Yo,
Inception shit? Boom.
yeah, like yo, dog. I heard you like projects.
Heavy brass. Bum. Bum. Hans Zimmer shit. Bum.
Yeah. That's what I have to put up with, but
You could put up with a lot worse.
oh
man.
yeah,
You could put up with me on Twitter all day long.
put up with myself on Twitter all day long. Fuck.
Side note: Brendan is the band edgelord. That's why we're talking about his Twitter account.
It
I
was so
guess.
cute. Like when we first started the band, how edgy you were.
I just
Hey man, I was edgy once too.
I think we were all edgy once.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And then we all fucking grew a brain, and we're like,
Yeah.
being edgy fucking
Just kind of
sucks.
pissed off about being pissed off, kind of thing. Like I don't know. At least.
Yeah, right.
The balls dropped and
Still-
yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Then you just turn to metal music and it makes it better, right?
Yeah. And then you're like, why was I pissed off? I fucking forgot why.
Here's some blast beats. Just like listen to it and chill out, right?
Yeah, exactly. Smoke some pot and fucking chill out.
Drink some BC craft beer. Hell.
I don't know if you got that, but Sean really likes craft beer.
He does. BC
Night
craft
Hawk Ale
beer.
is
BC
killer.
Not by
craft beer.
those fucking hipsters down in Portland.
Yeah, it was-
Or Poland, but
Yeah.
It is. Oh yeah, it is. I've had my fair share. It's good, man. Hey man, you could be like me back in the fucking late '90s where we just fucking drank pilsners the whole time
Yeesh.
and lagers.
I had my PBR days, and I think those are kind of behind me now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
PBR. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, their PBR is definitely not a sponsor, so let's bash them.
At least not yet, so hopefully in the future. Hey, PBR, hit him up.
Or don't.
Or don't, whatever.
It's either that or caribou.
Or what?
Oh,
Caribou, oh God.
Oh man,
I'd rather kiss a caribou.
dare I say it? Colt 45.
Whoa, that was. Oh.
Okay, now, but let's shout out to the good budget beer of the now, Sneaky Weasels.
Amen to that.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
There you hear. Sneaky Weasel is now the
Sneaky
beer
Weezer.
of the table. Everybody on this round table agrees that they are the best cheap budget beer.
Red Racer.
Yeah,
Okay.
Red
Racer's
Racer?
pretty good too. Yeah.
There you go. So now, okay, so
Red
budget
Racer, hit us
beers.
up.
Dude, we got this one here called Bone Beer. Have you heard of that one?
Nah.
I believe they brew it out of Lake Country, and it is geared towards hunters.
What?
Yeah, so it is a real budget beer.
We have 2 vegetarians, so that shit doesn't fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say it was supposed to fly. I don't drink that shit. Someone else there is
You're
offended
offended.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
We are sorry that you are offended. Please keep listening.
Now we have to make a support group.
Oh, dear.
Welcome to the Bone Beer support group. So I will legit tell you a story about Bone
Sure.
Beer.
We have our 24-hour helpline open.
It's just Sean all the time. Okay,
So
go on.
I had a Bone Beer once, and I at first when I picked it up, I thought it felt rather light. And I opened up the can, and it was, I shit you not, half full, and it fucking tasted like dirt.
But the question is, did it make you want to kill an animal?
No, because I love all animals.
Well, they fucking sucked at their job then, didn't they?
Yeah, fuck bone beer.
Speaking of animals, I just got a pet hedgehog a week and a half ago, and I'm super happy about it.
Aw, congratulations.
Yeah.
Does he come to the rehearsals?
No, no,
He
no.
should.
No. He's exploring the garden, though. He's, like, loving it.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's
Gotta play
amazing.
some blast beats for him.
Eventually, you got to warm him up to it.
Yeah,
You
you
have to
gotta
start
play
with-
some Dream
start with the
Theater
D, yeah.
first.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
The gateway drug, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, drug.
But yeah, that makes me think of like Strange Brew when they like put the mouse in the bottle and like.
That's fucking gross. Is that a real thing?
No, it's a movie.
Yeah, Strange Brew is a
Strange Brew.
movie.
You British fucking.
We now have a Brit that is learning about Canadian culture.
I apologize for any and all of my cultural ignorance on this podcast, but I did not grow up here. This is a very late warning.
He's
that-
been learning well.
that I might
He has
not
been.
get every single joke, especially if it's to do with hoses. It took a very, very long time for me to even learn what that was.
Well, now you know why us Canadians are all the way over here and we asked friendly for our independence.
If you've never had a British person as a friend, they always love talking about, back in England, right? So, I mean, like some cool stories, right?
Fuck
of course,
off.
right?
And we're like, oh, cool
Like,
stories about England.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm actually quite excited, if I ever go to England, to experience these things that, we've talked about and
It's
heard
a
about.
highly, highly disappointing country.
like their amazing breakfasts, which give you heart attacks.
And then
No,
the annoying
fact
bunch of
that every-
wankers you keep telling me about.
The what?
The annoying bunch of wankers you have here.
We just have better slang than you, I think is the...
Posers and wankers.
You dirty cunt.
Oh, yeah, you guys don't say that word right. So, okay, again, please, Eric, say the C word for me.
Cunt?
No, but like a Canadian.
Oh, like cunt.
Yeah, see, that doesn't sound... If I say it, cunt.
It sounds offensive when you actually
Yeah,
say
because
it.
that's how you're supposed to say it.
Yeah.
You have to have conviction behind it.
Yeah.
That's you need to really mean it. Dig in.
Yeah, and it totally comes out that way too when you say it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone just loves it.
It's
over
kind of
there.
like saying,
Everybody just fucking loves saying that
Yeah.
word.
you got to put the accentuation where it needs to be, right? Like, fuck.
Yeah, like if you're gonna say it, you gotta fucking mean it.
Fuck.
Yeah, you gotta
Can't just say
meme it.
Fuck. Right?
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
Like you're frolicking through the flowers.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So who's your favorite football club then?
I fucking hate football.
Is that even possible?
Yeah, and okay, so to dispel a
And
lot
just
of
to
myths.
interrupt quickly, he
Go on.
hates tea. Like,
Yeah,
I-
okay, so
What?
Sean just outed me.
That's why he's in
I'm
Canada.
English,
Because
and
we
I-
hate
He
football
doesn't
and
drink
tea
Earl
as
Grey.
well.
I hate
he doesn't drink
football.
Earl Grey.
I hate football, and by football I mean soccer for everyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about.
And by soccer, he means soccer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm unable to pronounce the letter R, and I also do not like tea. Yeah, you heard
quite
it here
surprised.
first. An English person doesn't like tea.
So have you had like childhood
Goddamn
trauma
traitor.
that caused these things?
Because, sometimes we actually have to take, like, rehearsal breaks for a tea break. So now that I think of it, what the heck's he doing during those breaks, right? He doesn't even like tea.
No, it just doesn't taste good.
See, I thought it was like a human right or something.
No, okay, you say
like,
that, but it
smokers
is.
get like 10 smoke breaks.
Yeah,
and then,
right?
like,
Yeah, it actually sort of is. Like, Matt's not wrong. Like, you do have to take breaks for tea.
So I kind of feel like you are seeing this as a job and you're asking for tea breaks like a smoker would ask for smoke breaks now.
Oh, no, but that's the thing. I would never ask for tea breaks. It's disgusting. It's revolting.
And I'm a brutal fucking boss, so he gets no fucking breaks.
So can we expect halfway through your set a tea break?
Maybe.
Absolutely, but I will go and pour myself an ice-cold Diet Coke.
Yep. Needs to be a very elaborate,
Or a
like,
Coke Zero, yes.
kind of China tea set, right? Like perfect.
Yeah,
it all has
right?
to be,
Like a butler
set up
brings
properly,
out like
yes.
a silver tray. You should do this.
Wearing, like, a
have
tuxedo.
a tea set up during your show.
Okay, but now a question for the table: scone or scone?
Well, it's
Scone,
always been
you
a
wanker.
scone. But when I've grown up, my mom made scones, not a scone. I don't know.
I'm just gonna say scone just for the hell of it.
Scone or scone? I'm gonna have to go
I'm
with the
scone.
office here and say Michael Scarn.
Oh.
Sean's the only one I agree with. But this is actually a debate in England itself. Is no one knows how to pronounce that word. So that's why I thought I would be a troll and introduce it here.
I
as
kind
well.
of feel like English people don't know how anything's pronounced.
No, you're not wrong, because if you honestly, if you throw a stone, you'll hit someone with a different accent. It's actually like that. So yeah, when we say about like that's wrong, the only thing I stand by is the word aluminium.
Tell us the
Fucking
story.
suck it.
Tell us a story last weekend when we were just chilling out in Victoria, and you met out that old couple from wherever in England. Or you
Oh yeah, they were from near where my mum is from, which is Liverpool. So we were it's true, I can do that. So we're walking along Ogden Pier, I think is the name of that place in Victoria. It's got a sundial. I remember that much. I was joking, talking about a comic in the UK that I like called Bill Bailey, who has a very memorable quote in one of his stand-ups where he says, "As an English person, I crave disappointment." And and an older couple behind us started laughing, and then we started having a chat because they were English too. I knew exactly what I was talking about, both in the quote and in sentiment, because it's fucking true.
And you hear it here first.
And yeah, that's why we basically get nothing done. Is that we just listen to him talk all day.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, probably uses up half of our rehearsal time.
Yeah.
you know?
Drinking tea, or at least bitching about it.
Bitching about tea.
correct with the bitching.
I just like to talk about the fact that it's raining all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. It's the Lower Mainland. Yeah, it does. All right, so I'm going to close
Fuck
this up by
tea.
saying thank you very much, Svneatr, for sitting here with me at this round table and discussing all sorts of amazing things.
It's been great. Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you.
us. Been a pleasure.
So make sure to follow them on all the social medias. Check out their Bandcamp and fucking buy their album because
Oh,
it
yeah.
kicks ass. And then the new one when it comes out, and we'll make sure to retweet it or share it or
sure.
whatever.
Whoa.
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 And you can follow
Thank you, Eric.
Hey, you're welcome,
Thanks
you
for
guys.
having
us.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks a
It was
lot.
my pleasure, absolutely. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Metal as Medicine. Mostly follow us on Twitter or me at Eric Ray on Twitter because that's what I use the most. And fuck literally everything else, especially
Yeah.
Facebook. Fuck them.
Fuck Facebook.
Yeah. And if you can,
The
while you're at
algorithms
it,
are so jank. It's like see the show posting like 4 days later after the show was done. I'm just like, what
that's
the
pretty
fuck?
whack.
yeah, right? Like, and if you've got the chance, if you've got a moment and you're sitting there and you're twiddling your thumbs and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? Delete Facebook.
Yeah. Amen.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.